Welcome, welcome, welcome back to Fourth and Nine to Victory. I'm your boy Fight on Kristen.
And I'm running mate B Jenkins.
Yes, sir. We're here to give our position grades from the game Saturday, USC versus Illinois. The boys fought hard. Unfortunately, we lost on the walk-off field goal, 34-32 in Champaign, Illinois. If you haven't seen our recap video, please go back and watch it. Like, subscribe, share it. We'll review what we've seen from the game. Again, shout out to everybody that joined us Saturday. As you know, we go live for every USC game, breaking down the game as we see it, taking calls from you guys and your comments, answering questions, getting your what you're seeing, your analysis on it, and things of that nature. So we appreciate all the support. Hit that bell and keep pushing it out there. Today we're going to focus on our weekly position grades from that game. First off, we're just going to start off with our grade for the offensive team, defensive team, and what the overall grade is, and then we'll go into position groups. So, B, go ahead and give me your offensive grade, your defensive grade, and overall team grade.
Well, offensively, I'm going to get a group an A minus. Miava looked good. Of course, he was pretty efficient. He did have that one interception. It wasn't too costly the interception that he threw, but he came right back, went down the field, got us into the end zone. I think it was with to the pass to Makai Lemon. So offensively, I'm going to say an A minus. Again, we did have a fumble also. Wyman Jordan fumble on the first drive that I think that could have really set the tone for us, but we eventually turned the ball over. So offensively, I want to say an A minus. Defensively, it's not too much, to grade them on. I want to say I want to give them an F, really. I'm just gonna cut to the skinny of it, man. The only saving grace I have from giving them an F, Chris, man, is the hustle play by Gentry. We knocked punched out a fumble right down the goal line. We recovered it, and then we had another fumble that Jakeem Stewart picked up and ran about 25, 30 yards. My only regret with that is that he couldn't make it to the end zone like Josh Jarrett did a couple weeks ago against Purdue, right?
Right.
So I want to say a D minus, but I do mean a D minus, and I want to say the grading scale haven't changed. I think a D used to be like a 65 to 69, but I think they moved the grade scale to where now a D is a 60. I haven't been in school in a minute, but a 60
Well,
used to be.
man, as far as I know, in college and school in California, growing up in college, a D was anything from 60 to 69. A C was 70 to 79. A B was 80 to 89. And if they done changed it, my kids ain't old enough yet to begin grading.
See, it was different.
One of them just start walking today. He just took
Okay.
his first step.
He did.
Yeah, I was
That's a
like,
blessing.
cool. And
It's-
my
it-
daughter,
it-
she's
it
only
was-
my daughter
it was
in 3, so she in daycare. So we
Yeah,
I don't know
was
what
different
grades
in the
is.
South. It was different in the South because in the South here, a 65 to a 69 was a D, and anything but
Okay.
anything below 65 was an F. But I saw it recently changed to where a 60 was a D. I was like, nah. So we'll just use that grading scale. I'm going to say a D minus. On defense, special teams, we didn't really get a chance to see special teams. We made the PATs to point out the touchdowns, but outside of that, man, yeah, D
I'm
minus.
not even including special teams in this one because, like you said, we
Right.
didn't. We only punt one time. We only returned actually 2 of the kickoffs, or the
Mhm.
mini kickoffs we got that we brought
Right.
out. We don't have anything really for special teams, right?
Right.
Well, we did make a field goal, so
Right. Yeah. So that was somewhat of a plus, and extra point. Well, the 2 point conversion. Would you consider that to be special teams?
no, that's offense.
It's offense. All right. Well, um, yeah, that would be my grade right there.
So
Overall, did you say overall, or you want me to
yeah, what's
rate
overall? What's the overall? You gave offense a minus, defense a D minus.
overall? Team grade, you have to go with a C minus, man, because the defensive grade is going to bring down the offensive grade, right?
Right.
So overall team grade,
So if you
unfortunately,
gave him you gave offense a minus, you gave defense a D minus. Yeah,
C minus. Yeah, no,
that's
C. So, and I hate to say a C because the defense looks so bad.
right.
Right? It's almost like rewarding the defense, right? Wouldn't you see that as being a reward to the defense is for to give the team a C, right?
Man, but it's overall like that's the average,
Yeah,
right?
right. So average. I'm gonna say what you know what I'm gonna just give them a C.
Okay.
I'm gonna give this grade for the team a C.
For me, I'm giving the offense a B. The
Mm,
reason I'm giving the offense a B is because of what you preference, right?
okay.
Two turnovers, right? A interception. That fumble by Wayman Jordan definitely have to clean it up. That's his second one this year already
Right.
in 5 games.
Right.
Um, kid came both kids came back and played the rest of the game phenomenal. Waymon did, Maiva did. They were the reason we were winning late with 147 to go with a chance to win the game. So kudos to them. But because of that, I can't give them an A. I'm gonna have to go with a B. The Waymon fumble was much more bigger than anything
Right.
because the goal was to get out, to start the game fast, get out, get the momentum, take the crowd away, and make them play from behind. They didn't play from behind all game. They played from ahead. So the pressure was never on them, and we couldn't stop them running or passing. But we never even got them to a situation where they kind of had to go away from the run game, which would have helped us out. So I'm going to give us a B. Defensively, I'm giving us a D minus as well. I was going to
Mhm.
go with an F, but
So
even
you were
though
gonna do what I was gonna do, right?
yeah, I was gonna go with an F. And even though on those drives, Illinois went 80 yards on both of those drives and fumbled going into the end zone, they still kept them out the end zone. So I'm gonna give us even though it didn't look good up to that point on the drives to that fumble, you know what I mean? I'm still gonna give them, some credit for that. So I'm gonna give them D minus. So my overall team grade is a C as well for them. All right, let's get into this. Um, Position grades. Starting off, of course, today's the first. Today's the well, not the first time, but we actually have a position room for quarterback, right? Because the
Okay.
freshman Longstreet got in as
Right.
well. So he didn't throw a pass, but rushing wise, he had one carry for 16 yards, which
Right.
makes his average 16 yards.
Good carry. Right.
Jaden Mava was 30 for 43, 364 yards, 70%, two TDs. He did have one interception on the ground. Jaden Mava had 5 carries. I don't even remember seeing how this is possible. I don't remember him taking a sack or taking a loss on a run, but he said he had 5 carries for only 2 yards.
Yeah, I
So I
don't
mean,
remember that either.
so he had to take a loss somewhere. What is your grade for the quarterback room?
Quarterback room, A minus. Jay Maiava, um, pretty efficient. Like I said, kids has been, performing above what everyone expected. He did have that one interception, but if you notice, he didn't get down on himself. He came right back down, let the before. Like as I stated before, he's been galvanizing the troops from an offensive standpoint. He's been the true leader on the offensive side of the ball. The kid has been smiling and motivating his players, and I think the kids on the offensive side of the ball love playing with him. So, and then you got a glimpse to look at the future. Husan Longstreet. I know he's played in a few games in those preseason games we had, but I think this is one big game that he's played. Well, the biggest game he's played in. He came in and did the job effectively. I do expect for us to see some more packages for Husan coming in the coming weeks. As we get into the teeth of the of our schedule, he does make the defense play somewhat honest. He has more speed than Jaden does, but I think overall Jaden is a better quarterback, of course, and a better passer. But I think we got just a small glimpse of what's to come in the future. And I think even when he does take over and Jaden Maiava moves on to the NFL, this offense is going to be just as it's explosive.
Okay. For me, the quarterback room, I give him a it would have been an A plus, but the interception, I'm going to
Right.
give him a A minus. Maiva was sensational yet again, right? Quarterback throw interceptions. It happened. How do you
Right.
respond? That's what life is about. How do you respond, right? When you're down. That's what we need to see from this whole team as well. But Maiva did what he did last year.
Mhm.
He made a mistake. He came back and he brushed it off, and he played high level football. After that interception, I mean, he was on fire. He was sensational. He was sensational all game. We seen two plays from Husong. One play he came in, he handed it off. He didn't keep it. The next one he went around the corner from 16 yards, and like you said, he was very fast on it. Almost scored.
Right. Almost
So because of that, I'm going to give the quarterback room a minus. All right,
okay.
moving on. USC running back room. And King Miller played. He caught a ball. He didn't get a carry. But Waymon Jordan, 20 carries, 94 yards, 2 TDs. Husan Longstreet, 1 carry, 16 yards. Eli Sanders had 8 carries for 14 yards. Jaden Maiva had 5 carries for 2 yards. We had 34 total carries for 126 yards. And we could have used this in the men lie, women lie segment because
Right.
it do seem like we ran for more than 126
It
yards.
does. It does. It does.
So
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
is
Go
your
ahead.
grade for the running back room?
I want to say a B minus. I think that maybe if we had been more run run heavy, that it would have affected the game some, especially towards the end. Of course, you know how I feel. We've already gone through that, but Riley's doing what Riley said he was going to do: run the ball. And even when it didn't look too promising in the game, he still continued to run the ball. Even when I started running back, William Jordan fumbled. What did Riley do? Come right back to the kid. You remember a couple of weeks ago he fumbled the ball, and my question was, "Oh man, what do you think he's going to do to him? You think he's going to put him on the bench?" No. Riley said, "We brought you here for a reason. You fumbled it, shake it off, and get right back in there." And he did his job. I think he had what 2 touchdowns on the ground,
Yep.
like he
He had
said.
a touchdown the very next drive.
Yeah, touchdown the very next drive. So, Riley shows his running back that, hey, look, I got all the confidence in the world. Just like you said, just something we got to clean that up. But I really wish that we had pounded the rock a little more. But I want to go say a B minus, and it was because of that fumble.
I I'm I would have gave that a A. I'm going with a B minus. The reason I'm going B minus again is that fumble. We already stated how
Right,
costly that fumble was because we got the ball first. We wanted to go down and score, put the pressure on them. They never trailed the whole game, and they wasn't stopping us. Like it was
right,
wide open. What I'm saying, on that drive, and we was on our way to score. Not only that, am I giving them a B minus? Is that during the game, a lot of times where Marva had to leave the pocket and were getting some pressures, running backs were missing blocks, right? Like they were attempting to block, but a person would push them over or run past them. I've seen some issues there during the game. Like I said, it wasn't every play and all that, but it was enough to capture my attention when looking at the line play and doing the rewatch and determining like, okay, where did this guy come from? How's this pressure getting there? And it's not like Marvin was just pressure on his back all day, but there were times he was pressured and he was able to escape the pocket, what I'm saying, and do some things. Again, I'm gonna have to go with a B minus. It was at a big time in the game where Marvin had to escape the pocket. He did hit a running back on the sideline. Running back got to be aware where you at. You're by yourself
right.
wide open. You got to make sure your feet in. So, but outside of that, the running backs did their thing. But due to the fumble, do some missed block assignments and things like that. I'm going with a B, not a B minus, but a B. It's a B plus. It's a high B.
Okay, okay.
It's not much to complain about on offense outside the fumble and interception, to be honest. All right, moving on to the wide receiver room. Makai Lemon, he led with 11 receptions, 151 yards, 2 touchdowns. He averaged 13.7 yards a catch. Lake McCree had 3 catches for 59 yards, averaged 19.7. Jacoby Lane had 4 catches. we'll have to talk about that later because when he came in the second half, it opened up a whole lot of things, and he caught some balls, was able to play. We thought he was out there for a just on
Decoy
the goal
reason.
line of a
Right.
distraction, but it seems like he's healthy enough. I don't know what's going on there, but he had 4 catches for 39 yards with a 9.8 average. Walker Lyons had the same numbers as Lane, 4 receptions, 39 yards, 9.8 carry. Tanuke Hines, 2 catches, 33 yards, average 16.5 yards a catch. The freshman is special. This freshman is special. Jason Richardson, again, happy this kid is getting his chance. 2 receptions for 15 yards, 7.5. Waymon Jordan had 2 receptions for 12 yards, average 6.0. Eli Sanders had 1 reception for 10 yards, and King Miller had 1 reception for 6 yards. So what do you give your grade as far as for the wide receiver room? I know you both. It's easy on this one.
Yeah, I want to say an A+ on this one. For one main reason, Mr. Mekhi Lemon, as I said before, one of the best wide receivers in the nation. But as far as Jacoby Lane, I still think he's dealing with some issues with his shoulder. I do believe that he was brought in as a decoy. Maybe the coaching staff didn't plan on using him, but had problems with getting Mekhi open because there was no other threat down the field or to get into the end zone. If you notice, they only brought in Jacoby Lane when we got into the red zone, but as we got more into the fourth quarter, he started playing more. He started regular, but he was able to bring some attention to himself. He didn't get many targets in the first. Well, when they first brought him in, but then Jay Miver started going to him. So I still think that he's dealing with some type of injury. I want to say it's his shoulder. I do expect for him to get some more treatment, some more recovery done in the off week, and for him to be full speed, come Michigan in 2 weeks. But I want to say an A+, and it's mainly because of Mr. Mekhi Lemon.
I'm going to give the wide receiver room an A+ as well. They played phenomenal. I don't need to talk about Mekhi Lemon. You just talked about him, right? We all seen what he did. The dude's a stud. But the tight ends played exceptional as well. A lot of big time catches in traffic where they had to catch and take a hit. A lot of timely catches. Lake McCree averaged 19.7 yards, a catch. Between him and Walker Lyons, the tight ends played very well. I'm going to give the wide receiver room off the strength of the tight ends and Mekhi Lemon alone. Those 3 and their performance give the team an A+.
Okay.
All right. Let's move on to offensive line.
Offensive line, I'm going to go B+. There was still some situations to where I felt like it was a little too much pressure on Jay Miver. A couple of times he had to escape the pocket. Looked like, he was running to keep from getting sacked.
Yeah, pressure right up the middle.
Yeah, pressure right up the middle. Unfortunately, we did lose an offensive lineman. We lost our starting center. And our left tackle, Elijah Page did not play in that game, so we're a little banged up. Hopefully, we can get at least Elijah Page back. I don't know how severe the injury is on our center, but Gianray Reed, the backup center, came in, did a pretty admirable job. Again, we still gave up some pressures, and he had a couple errant snaps, but I think they overcame it. We still ran the ball pretty effectively, but again, a little too much pressure for my on Jaden Miver for me, so I want to go B+ on the offensive line.
I'm going with a B on the offensive line as well. Playing in the Big Ten and playing the caliber like the team we played, I think the amount of pressures we seen. We would like our defense to do it, but it wasn't like it was a constant pressure and Jaden Miver was on his back. You know what I'm saying? There were some breakdowns here and there, but that's why you have an athletic quarterback. You still don't want it to happen. So like you said, for that, I'm gonna give him a B. I'm gonna give him a B for penalty. It took a touchdown off the field, off the scoreboard, right?
Right. I forgot about that. You're absolutely correct. Right.
With offensive lineman going down there, so I'm going to give him a B- because that's a big play. The breakdowns we've seen, sometimes we've seen pressures coming right up the middle. I don't want to punished the offensive line for what could have been, like you said, errant snaps. That was almost a big disaster.
Oh yeah.
Like that needs to be cleaned up. But I'm going to give them. I said B minus, but I'm going to give them a B plus off the strength that, again, this is the second game in a row where the offensive line had to be switched. Now we're without our starting center. You know what I mean?
Right.
And for that to happen, and the way the offensive line played, and for us to be able to come back from 14 down, the offensive line gave us some protection. We'll still able to move some things on the ball. So I'm gonna give them a B plus. So far, we're seeing everything the same. This is what everybody's waiting on. This is what I'm waiting on, because you're normally the benevolent one. I'm feeling. You always say I'm feeling very benevolent today. So I'm curious to see how benevolent you is. Let's move over to the defense side of the ball. And just before we do that, Desmond Stevens led the team with 9 tackles for solo. Eric Gentry followed with 8 total tackles, 3 solo. DeCarlos Nicholson led us in sacks. He's the only person that got a sack with 1. With that sack, he was tied with Braylon Conley to lead the team in tackles for loss, who had 1. So we only had 2 tackles for loss on the day. Fumbles, Jakeem Stewart recovered a fumble. Eric Gentry caused a fumble, and I can't remember who recovered that fumble. Christian Pierce recovered it.
Yeah, and then
so Christian Pierce recovered the fumble. Jakeem Stewart recovered the other fumble. That's where we're at on defense. So as far as, let's start up front, defensive line.
Defensive line, this is going to be short. Yeah. I mean, I know Jakeem Stewart recovered a fumble, but I'm talking about the way they got pushed around all game. I don't see how you could give him anything else other than an F. Now, I do give Jakeem Stewart, I give him his props for recovering that fumble and having the awareness to pick up and run, but it doesn't negate the fact of what we saw on Saturday, the amount of effort that they gave. So, considering all things, no pressure on the quarterback, like you said. The only sack that we got in the game, or TFLs that we got in the game, came from cornerback pressures. F, man, that's my grade.
All right, man. I don't know why I thought you were gonna be benevolent, but I'm with you. Short and sweet. Short and sweet. Short and sweet. L. The entire game, we've seen our defensive linemen. What I call the roach, right? And they on their back, arms and legs up. We seen our defensive linemen back with the linebackers getting pushed 5 yards and on their back, and it was over and over again. There was no type of penetration. I mean, at the snap of the ball, they were getting pushed back. Like you said, no tackles for loss, no pressure, no nothing, just totally dominated. And we love the guys. We wish it wasn't the case, but I mean, everyone, we've seen the film, we watched the game. Unfortunately, this week, defensive line has to get an F. All right, linebackers.
I'm going to give them a C minus, and that's mainly because of what you said, the tackles. Desmond Stevens, how many tackles did he? I think he led the team with 9 tackles, and the effort that Eric Gentry gave. You didn't hear his name called much the entire game, but when we needed him to show up in a big situation like that, he showed up. Because again, like I stated in our last video, that kid from Illinois, he was about to score. There's no doubt about that.
I mean, both times.
Right. They were about to score, and Mr. E.G., like he is, the All-American he is, comes right in and punches the ball out. We recover it, gives the ball back to our offense to go down and do what they did, which was score the ball. But I want to say a C minus, but it's mainly because of the tackles from Desmond Stevens and that effort from Eric Gentry. And Eric Gentry was second, wasn't he? Did you say he had
8 total tackles, 3 solo?
Yeah. I'm gonna go C minus.
Right. So for linebackers, they're getting a D, right? The only reason that they're getting a D is what you just preferenced, is that Eric Gentry because we had just scored, got to, and was down 6, right? And we kicked off. They took the ball 80 yards right down the field as they have. all day, and this
Right.
guy's going to the end zone, and Eric Gentry has the wherewithal and understanding, know that somebody got to make a play. We got to get this ball back. They scored. This game is over, right? And he punched that ball out, and so that takes him from the linebackers from an F to D, because I can't give him a C from what I seen on film and I seen on the game.
Okay.
They were not playing downhill. They were catch blocking. They were standing in a position, and offensive line was meeting them at their spot when they should have been meeting the offensive line, right?
Right.
That's where the physicality and things come play. Run fields were not there yet again. What we've been seeing from the linebacker group. And when I say linebacker group, I'm not saying all the linebackers. You watch the film, you'll see exactly what I mean, and come up with your own analogy. I don't like. It's hard because when Eric Gentry is included in linebackers, and most of the conversation is not about Eric Gentry. You know what I mean?
Right.
But the linebacker play, it wasn't there. The defense, yes, the defensive line and stuff was getting pushed back, but linebackers was catching blocks a whole lot instead of attacking and playing downhill, shooting gaps, run field. They were waiting, and they were a step behind, waiting for the offensive line to get to them. There's a problem, B, when your linebackers led the team in tackles, and none of them was for a loss.
Right.
None of them was around the line of scrimmage. So I can't give you a grade or points for leading the team in tackle when all the tackles are 5 and 6 and 10 and 12 yards down the field.
Okay.
Now if these were behind the line of scrimmage or somewhere close to the line of scrimmage, okay. But yeah, so for that, linebackers is going to get a D. We do safeties and corners together. So going to the next segment. What do you give our defensive backs their grade?
F. It would be a 0 if it were not for DeCarlos Nicholson getting that good hit on the quarterback. But other than that, it's an F. Next, your turn.
Man, unfortunately for that position group as well, I'm gonna give them a D minus.
D minus for what?
This is why I'm gonna give them a D minus. There were some times that are it was few and far between, but Kevin Longstreet had 3 pass breakups. DeCarlos Nicholson had 1 pass breakup. Nicholson had that sack off the end, that pressure. So for that, I'm gonna give him a couple of points. I'm gonna give him a D minus. I'm being benevolent.
I see that because they still got 300 yards passing.
They did. It's an F plus D minus.
All right.
I'm being a little benevolent on that.
I see that. All right.
I'm gonna give him a D minus, F plus. You know what I'm saying? I mean, overall defense, we all agree it was just bad.
It was awful.
It was bad, man. It reminded us of the Grinch that stole football days. So
yeah, you know what, Chris? What this could be. This could be one of those situations to where the coaching staff say, you know what, we're not going to even show this. We're going to just throw it in the trash. You know what happened on Saturday. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, you need to look at this. Nah, this the game you need to look at it. And I'm having my laser pointer. Hey, I'm calling each one of them in there one by one. We got 2 weeks. We got 2 weeks to the next game. So we got time. I'm calling each one of y'all in there one by one, and we going through all the plays. And I'm saying, look at you getting pushed off the ball 5 yards. Look at you in the wrong gap. Look at you, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on? Like, it has to be some accountability.
I get that, but they were there, man. In my opinion, they were there. They know they got pushed back like that. Now, if it continues to happen, I'm showing video. But this one right here, you just want to take this tape and burn it.
Well, I guess my thing is, what you mean is, if it continue to happen, it is continue to happen. We've been saying it since the first.
Well, it hadn't been to this degree. It has happened. You're correct. I'm agreeing with you on this, but to this magnitude, this was embarrassing, Chris.
Because the offense have been over to overcome their insufficiency. The offense been jumping out.
And we did. We did go down and take the lead. and you would
No.
expect,
I'm saying it's been happening for the first 5 games,
yeah.
but it hasn't been as noticeable because the offense has been covering
I
the
agree.
defense,
That's fair.
like
That's fair.
jumping out to a big score. So teams have been
Mhm.
having to give up on the run game. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
fair.
But if you look at all those games, we've been talking about the numbers in this run defense since game
Mhm.
1. If you look
Right.
at the tape, you seeing the same thing. The same
Right.
thing that happened yesterday. Yesterday, you just seen yesterday because the game was close and it wasn't a blowout. Illinois was able to stick to the run game, and so you've seen it over and over and over and over again. All
Right.
right. Last but not least, offensive side, coaching. What's your grade?
Hey, Lincoln Riley did his thing. He does what Lincoln Riley does.
Mhm.
You know, he take, especially along the offensive line. I want to give kudos to is it Henson?
Mm-hmm.
Henson, Henson, right?
Mm-hmm.
For him to take the amount of hits. We remember we thought that we were going to have another offensive lineman to play, but he ended up being ruled ineligible, right? So
Right.
you lose your center, you lose Elijah Page. We lost Elijah Page early in the game against Michigan State, but the offense continues to chug right along. As a matter of fact, we didn't even notice that Elijah Page was gone. Most people were saying the same thing. So for those points itself, I'm going to give the overall offensive grade an A. I give it an A, man.
Yeah.
I love what
So as
Riley is
far as
doing. He's incorporating the freshman and Hussar Longstreet. We put in Tanuk Hines. Tanuk Hines has been a surprise. This kid's going to be outstanding as a receiver out of Texas. The one thing that I saw that Tanuk Hines made a mistake on was on the incomplete pass. He didn't come back and attack the ball. He saw J.D. Maava being pressured. J.D. Maava threw to him, and he stood still waiting on the ball. He didn't come back and attack the ball. And that's going to come with experience playing at this level. But
yeah,
other than that, yeah.
that kid's a stud, man.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
For me, on the offensive side, I mean, it's my grade is not like just for Riley, but it's like all the offensive coaches, right? That's what we're
Right,
talking about.
right.
Position group. I give it an A as well.
Mhm.
Zach Hansen, when Henson left and went to Purdue,
Right,
and we kind of didn't like what he's doing with this offensive line, and these are kids that were recruited.
right.
Coming into this year, the biggest questions that people had, not us, because we've been on.
Right.
They were saying all the defense is going to carry the team. We don't know what we're going to get from the offensive line in my eye, but they just need to. The defense is going to win for us. Offense just need to not mess it up. Yeah,
Right.
it's been completely different since week 1, right? It's the total opposite. The offense is carrying his team. What he's done with that offensive line, even with the injuries and shuffling and moving people, nothing short nothing short of amazing.
Right.
That gets A. So he's part of that. Riley, the play calling was excellent, right? Like you said, bringing in Longstreet, the creativity and different things we keep seeing. Every week we see something,
A new wrinkle.
a new wrinkle.
Oh, yeah.
Play with Longstreet was because they thought he was going to run the regular zone read, but did you see he ran a counter? It was a quarterback counter. The
Right.
running back was never going to get the ball on that. The running back job was to go straight to that end and block, and he opened up to the left and
Mhm.
quickly countered to the right and went around that corner. Oh man,
Yeah, yeah.
that was nice. The wide receivers, you got to give the wide receiver credit. Everybody was on him last year saying he can't develop, right?
Right.
These are kids that he recruited in. They're balling. Chad Savage, what he's doing with and go back to wide receivers and they're blocking and how they're blocking this
Oh,
year.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
And how they blocked yesterday downfield. Hey, Chad Savage with the tight ends. The tight ends are playing phenomenal, right?
Right. Right.
So coaches, offensive for the game, A+. Now let's move on. Defensive side of the ball.
Yeah. What else do you want me to say, man? F.
I'm with you on that.
Right.
I'm with you on that. And while looking at the film and the game and stuff, the effort wasn't there from the
Right.
players. The players were getting blown out and all that. But this just wasn't a players thing. It was a being out scheme thing as well.
Oh, yeah. Definitely our scheme.
Coming into this game, we all knew it. We watched the film, and we know if they watch film. Look, your best. What we need to do is shut down their run.
Right.
Do whatever you can do to shut down the run, So you make them a passing team, and then that way your speed rushers and all that can eat, right? Can beat their offensive line who have problems. We know that their offensive line was big, but they're not fast and mobile. And what Indiana did was stunt and send
Right.
blitzes like that beat them with speed, and they didn't have an answer for it. We didn't do it. When we did stunt, the Carlos Nicholson got a free rush at the quarterback and knocked his head
Cleanest
off.
clock. Yeah, cleanest clock.
So what
Yeah.
happened is the end stunted to the inside, and the Carlos Nicholson came off his corner position because his responsibility was basically going to be
It was
what
well
the ends
timed.
would
Yeah,
be able
yeah.
to copy, right? Because the end stunted.
It was
We
well
didn't see
timed.
it enough. We didn't see anything to try to stop the run, right? As far
Right.
as putting more beef in. I mean,
Right.
we didn't see no adjustments. We played the game the whole same way. At halftime, everybody was saying our coaches, our defensive staff make adjustments at halftime. We expect them to adjust. They're going to adjust, and we never seen it, right? We never seen it.
Right.
So I'm with you on that, Elf.
Right.
We got 2 weeks to get it right.
2 weeks.
I'm like a teacher. You know what I'm saying? I got my red pen. We got 2 weeks to get it right. You can do it. You gotta study. You gotta
But here's a good thing about that though, Chris. We get a chance to watch Michigan play Wisconsin this weekend, right?
Mm-hmm.
Michigan has a game this weekend. Again, I think Michigan's weakness, and we'll get into it next week when we do film study. I think Michigan's weakness is the passing. You got a true freshman back there. He's an elite 5-star player, but as far as being able to trust him over the run, I don't think the coach over there trusts his arm more than he trusts the running game, as he should. You understand? So I expect for our staff to come out and at least give this kid a different look. Don't let Michigan run the ball on us like
Well,
this.
here's a simple thing, right? And this is the conundrum that we're in, right? The
Right,
simple thing is like just like going to Illinois, we stated need to stop the run,
right,
right?
right.
And we didn't do it, and it didn't seem like there was any adjustment made to try to do it. It didn't seem like we sold out to do it, right? Of course, it's keep everything in front of you, make you work your way down the field. So that's most likely why they didn't try to force any issues to stop the run. And so against Michigan, it's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Stop the run. That's what they want to do. Whatever their strength is, you want to take away their strength and make you beat you another way. They beat you another way, tip your hat off to
Tip
them.
your hat off. Let me ask you a question. Do you believe that Altmaier is a? Go ahead.
Hold on. Bryce Underwood. No, Bryce Underwood is not a better thrower of the ball at this point.
Oh, that's what I was. Now you know where I was headed, right?
Okay. He's not a better thrower of the ball right now than Otmar, right? And he's not experienced. Otmar been in this system for like 3 years. Otmar's a senior, so he's not as advanced as Otmar is, as reading coverages, throwing the ball. He's not as accurate as Otmar is right now. He's a better athlete than Otmar is right now, but as far as the quarterback position, he's not there yet. So what you got to do is shut down their run, right?
Right.
You're gonna have to load the box. We played them last year. It's the same remedy. And
say that again.
Make them beat
you, Chris. Say that again. Say that again, so the defensive coordinators can hear you. Do what?
We played them last year. It's the same remedy. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing to do. Shut down the run. Make them beat you through. Make him beat you through the air. If Underwood proves he can come out and do it, and he can consistently make the right choices and can be accurate with the ball, then you tip your hat off to him, because at the end of the day, our conundrum is we can't stop the run and we can't stop the pass. So we gotta do something. We can't let you go out in this game and continue to do both. right?
Right. You can't do both.
Yeah, if you're gonna beat me, you're gonna beat me one way, and it's gonna be what you don't want to do with. I'm gonna do what I could do to shut down the run. We gotta go man up every play. It is what it is. They run past us. At least our offense get the ball back, and let's make this thing a shootout and see if your quarterback can stay consistent and disciplined as ours can, and hope you make a mistake somewhere. But we cannot let Michigan come out here and run the ball down our throat, control the clock again, right? And have another what we had last year at the end. You know what I'm saying? With time going down, yet again, defense gives up a big old run on the ground. Another drive under 2 minutes that was all on the ground.
Right.
This is the common thing. Happened last year. Now it's happening again. But yeah, man. But that is it for our show. We just previewed the and talked about and gave out our grades for the position groups. Again, be looking out. We will put some on. USC is on the bye this week, so we don't have a game Saturday.
Right.
We're still possibly going to hop on and just do a live and let you guys call in and vent, right? We're
Right.
not going to
Vent
be on.
hour. We'll have a vent hour.
Yeah, we're going to be on for an hour or so. So make sure you guys, tune in, call in, and give us your thoughts, what you want to say, what you think is happening. Asking questions you might have, or if you disagree with anything, that's cool. We all family. We can agree to disagree. Everybody has their opinion. We respect yours, and we definitely want to hear it. So be looking out. We'll put a post on our Instagram. You can follow us at 4th and 9 to Victory on Instagram. Also on YouTube, like, subscribe. We'll put a post on there as well about the call-in video for Saturday with the time. And
Right.
man, B, you got anything before we get out of here?
Nothing else, man. Other than what you said, continue to like the videos, man. Hit that bell for notifications, subscribe, and share the channel. And as always, man, we appreciate everyone that shows up to our live, everybody that pops on and checks out the content, hit the like button, and leave comments, man. We go in and we respond to the comments, so we appreciate it.
Sure, man. So we definitely appreciate everybody. Again, we're on a bye week. We got 2 weeks. Getting ready for Michigan. And we got to get this thing right. The season is not over. We're not giving up on the team. Like we said, even if we don't win the game all year, we're gonna be here. Like
Oh
we're
yeah,
Trojan faithful. We love our Trojans. We always gonna support them. We're rooting for them regardless. We got their back and support no matter what happened. But man, we're Trojans. We're not giving up, right? We somehow, some way, we're gonna trust the coaching staff to get everything fixed. We're gonna get there. We're gonna continue to fight on. And as always, with you guys, and we one big USC family. And
yeah.
again, as always, fight on, fight on.
Right on.